423. Do you guys guess where this number came from? It's the number of steps I'm working from home all day. I only walk 423 steps in a day. I was pretty shocked to see this number since I used to walk more than 10,000 steps unintentionally before the COVID. There might be so many of you resonate to my feelings now, so today I'll share my 10 habits to maintain my health by looking at my day in Japan. We are starting with tip number 1, waking up early in the morning. I naturally wake up at 5:30 without setting my alarm. Having 30 minutes before the rest of my family wake up allows me to have a room both mentally and physically, and as a result, sets me off to the right direction throughout the day. In 30 minutes, I do my morning yoga. This is tip number 2. Find any exercise you can try and truly enjoy. I used to work in a yoga company as a HR. Since then, yoga has been part of my life, but it doesn't mean yoga is equally enjoyable for you. Long time ago, when I was in the middle school, I was part of the tennis team. Every Monday, I had to run for 15 minutes. Since I hated running, I started to skip Monday practice for an unacceptable reason. Then eventually, I quit the tennis team. Back then, I felt terrible being lazy, but now, looking back at myself, I understand that it wasn't just for me. Now I know if I decide to do some intense workout, I won't be able to keep it up. So try to find anything achievable and sustainable for yourself. I'm glad I get to know yoga, which I truly enjoy. The only exercise I do is 15 minutes morning yoga. I don't do any other workout, but I do keep my posture straight to use my inner muscle when I'm cooking, working on the laptop, doing laundry, pretty much any time I remember during the day. Then after 15 minutes yoga, I drink warm water to jumpstart my metabolism. This is my tip number 3. And before my breakfast, I make breakfast and bento box for my family. Let me talk a little bit about my younger days. I have 3 more siblings. My mom made 4 bento boxes every day for more than 15 years until the youngest one finished high school. I asked her, "How come you don't run out of bento box ideas?" And she told me because she always go with the color. For example, if she decides to have a teriyaki tofu as a main dish, the color is brown, so she will look for something red in season, which could be tomato in summer, green for edamame, yellow for egg or corn. The more color she adds, more earthful it will be, and most importantly, the bento will be nutritionally well balanced. She's not the nutritionist nor me, but I always take over her philosophy whenever I plan a meal for my kids. Go with the color. That's the tip number 4. I'm sure many of you have lots more tips and thoughts to share, so feel free to comment below if you have some. At 10 a.m., I had a brunch, also known as my happiest moment in a day. If you have been with me for a while, you know how much I love breakfast. I usually eat around 8 a.m., but I wasn't that hungry, so I waited until I become really hungry. This is tip number 5. Listen to the hunger cue. In a way, I can truly enjoy the food and be satisfied a lot more. It's been 15 hours since the last time I ate something, so I ate a lot. On this day, I had a hijiki seaweed and vegetables simmered in sweetened soy sauce. It's kind of like a kimpiragobo if you watched my previous What I Eat in a Day video, and miso soup, natto, and rice. When I cook rice, I make a big batch at once, then freeze it for the coming days. Into the rice, I usually add beans and seeds for more texture. My kids prefer the plain white rice, so I just scrape off the surface to remove all the beans and seeds for myself. I always have some kind of soup. This is tip number 6. When I just have one dish like a rice bowl or pasta, I usually finish it too quickly since I grown up in a big family, so that environment trained me to eat faster before somebody else steal my food. I was always in the food competition. Having soup will slow me down. I just sip little by little since it's hot. Also, it's become my custom to add loads of veggies into my soup since my kids tend to eat more veggies when it's in soup. So it's a win-win situation for mom and kids. I have a couple soup ideas, so let me leave the link for you in the description box. And after finishing all the dishes, I had another bowl of rice. Yes, I eat a lot. This is tip number 7. Never skip carbs from wholesome sources. I was a chocolate holic, so I used to eat less carbs, then save some calories for chocolate later. But that way usually causes me to binge eating. When I eat rice as much as I want, it holds me up very well and I'm less likely to reach something sweet after all. I don't eat much bread or pasta just because I personally love rice. But the problem is I often become so sleepy after this. Maybe I ate too much. And I'll also go through lots of fermented food throughout the day to maintain my gut health. That's tip number 8. Natto, kimchi, koji, which is a rice mold, miso, and many more. So what comes in must goes out. Gut health is probably the number one thing that I care about. It could be just me, but I have been overly sensitive to any cold symptoms, which I used to let it go because of the situation we are facing now. So having a strong and healthy gut will support my inner peace too. I talk a lot more about the love for the Japanese fermented products in different videos, so let me leave the link for you. For the snack, I had a homemade zero sugar banana kinako muffins, which I have a recipe on my blog listed in the description box. This is tip number 9. I'm not forcing you to have homemade muffin for your snack. What I mean by that is try not to bring too much junk food into the home in the first place. If you see it, there are more chances to reach out for it. My husband was often surprised by how fast I devour a box of chocolate. To get those junk food snacks, you have to get dressed and walk to the store. It always requires the extra time and efforts as opposed to just grabbing one from your pantry. I'm usually too lazy to do so. Instead, I eat whatever I have at home. My go-to snack is sweet potatoes and fruits. Of course, I do still enjoy the junk food though, to relax and unwind myself with my family. Remember, this is just what's working for me, so please always value your own feelings and desires. For dinner, I made some okonomiyaki with kids. It's a Japanese savory pancake. I have a both regular version and vegan version of recipe on my blog. To that, I usually sneak in veggies. This is tip number 10. Find more ways to add vegetables. I sneak into the soup, pasta, meatball, and dressing. I have more than 200 recipes which are packed with veggies. So please take a look at my web, and if you find something you want to try, you'll be grateful. Tip number 11. Finish your dinner at least 2 hours before you go to bed. This will allow you to have some time to digest and replenish your body overnight. My kids eat dinner at 6 p.m. and go to bed around 9 p.m. As I follow their timeline, I naturally have 2 hours before I go to bed. I usually doze off with kids, so no chance to eat after 9 p.m. I haven't had a straight overnight sleep for 5 years. My 3-year-old boy still wakes up during the night, so at least I want to prepare the best condition to heal my body before I go to bed. Lastly, I'm not sure if it's proper to share this on YouTube. Please don't take it too seriously. The reason why I decided to make this video is that as my dad passed away 3 years ago when he was only 60 years old due to the pancreas cancer, when we found out he had a cancer, he had only 10 months left before he died. That was shocking to me as for my entire family. Being healthy is not only for how you want it to be looked, but for me, it's all for my family. I have a mission to be healthy at least until my kids are grown up. So to me, it's okay to put on weight or lose weight. It really doesn't matter as long as I'm healthy mentally and physically. So I truly hope you all will live a healthy life, and I also hope my recipes and videos will help to guide you a healthy eating journey. So I was a bit intimidated to make this type of video since I'm not a professional in this area. I'm just an ordinary housewife in Japan. So take it as an advice from your friends, and I hope some of you find it helpful. Let me know your healthy habits too. I'm sure many others can be appreciated. Thanks a lot for watching, and subscribe and like. It shows love and support to the channel. See you on the next one. Bye bye, mata ne.